Hello, you are listening to FM Radio by Fanatics Media. This is Kevin.
And this is James.
We got a really exciting episode for you today. It's going to be the start of a new segment that we're going to be doing, and it's happening at the end of the podcast. It's an idea that I've had for about a week. James, without hesitation, was like, yeah, let's do it. It's called Micro D&D, and in this week's episode, we create the character Mandy Fresher. Do you not like her last name?
You and your puns.
Fresher. Now, we're going to leave it at that, and I just hope that you guys stick around and enjoy Micro D&D with me. If you listen to the first podcast, I expressed my want to play Dungeons and Dragons, and James is finally able to do that for me. So that's a big step for me.
Yeah, figured it'd be easy enough with the idea of the show. I don't really have to do any planning, just throw something quick at you every week and be done.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be, I don't want to explain anymore. It's going to be at the end, and I'm excited for it. Let's do our standard protocol questions. You ready?
Let's do it.
Have there been any special events that happened at Fanatics in Dothan, Alabama this past week?
So, this past week, like we mentioned last week, was kind of a slow, everything settling in week. But everything is going to be happening like this weekend, and I honestly didn't even realize it until earlier today when somebody asked me, hey, how much is this event going to be? So,
Is that the Dragon Ball Z Super?
yes, so I'll just kind of go in order real quick. This upcoming week, when you're hearing this, because this comes out, Sunday?
This does come out Sunday.
So, the day before you're hearing this, we will have had a Pokemon Win-A-Box for the new set, which will have just released.
Oh, dude.
Our last Pokemon Win-A-Box, we had like 20 players, and I know that there's at least 4 players coming from out of town for this one, so we're probably going to have even more than that.
Dope.
We did have a big Yu-Gi-Oh tournament like a week ago, and we're planning on doing more of that every so often. But the day that you're hearing this, we're actually having our first Dragon Ball Super pre-release for the new set. Set 9 Malicious Machinations, if I remember the set names correctly. I'm honestly terrible with.
I thought it was Unleashed.
Unleashed.
You posted something on Facebook. Here, look at us. We're so knowledgeable.
Yeah, we're the best. But there's actually a really funny story with that. Without going too much into detail, because I don't know how much detail that I can go into, we went from getting a normal amount of boxes that we would normally order to getting like triple the amount. So anyways, we're going to hopefully be selling a lot of that product on the 9th and have a whole bunch of people here get our first pre-release.
That's awesome. The name of the set is called Universal Onslaught.
Universal Onslaught. Malicious Machinations was the last set. There we go.
That's okay. That means you know what you're talking about.
Let's see. The 14th is the actual release for it, and along with a lot of releases for Yu-Gi-Oh! So the 14th is just going to be full of brand new product. We got all of our new D&D sessions kicking off this week and next week, so we've got 9 DMs in the store now.
Dude.
And our Ultimate Werewolf meetup is next Saturday too, that we do every month. So, yeah, a crap ton of stuff coming up this weekend, and it's going to be a good time.
What is your Ultimate Werewolf?
So Ultimate Werewolf is a social deduction game. A bunch of people sit around in a circle. One person is kind of like the game master of the group and will help run people through the game. Everybody's given a random character at the start of the game. Some have special powers, some don't, some are werewolves. The goal of the werewolves is to gain majority in the town, and there's usually like 2 to 3 or 4 werewolves max. And then the goal of the villagers, which is everybody else, is to kill all of the werewolves. So all of that information's hidden, and you've got to try and figure out who's who, and hopefully you kill the right people before the werewolves kill everyone off.
Nice.
I'll pretend to anyway.
So you kind of double whammied the any special events that happened this past week, and told me events that you do expect coming up. So that sounds like a lot of fun. I'm excited. Like the Japanese TCGs are coming in strong this weekend.
They really are, and we're starting to get some more of a Magic crowd back in. We had like an 8-person draft last weekend. Everything's kind of firing on all cylinders and starting to pick up.
What games are you playing right now, man?
I am playing the game of sit at a computer and design things for multiple hours on end.
You
That's
played something though, like
I mean, I played some more Gloomhaven. I played some more Marvel Champions. But the majority of my time this week was spent. Actually, we've got two store teams heading up north to Birmingham on the 22nd of next month. I think is the correct day, or 22nd of this month. And they wanted to get like team shirts made, so I've been spending a lot of time like getting custom shirts made for each one of them and designing them and all that stuff.
are they gonna say Jackal Pack on them, or are they gonna say Fanatics on them?
So the main design is Fanatics Wing. So like Fanatics X-Wing as like one big logo on the back. And
Hmm.
then it's got the Jackalmen Games logo on it. Finally got to play against Green Goblin in Marvel Champions, which was ridiculous. It was me and Deanna. We both chose aggression decks, which basically meant we didn't do any like stopping the scheme or like any controlling anything that wasn't just beating Green Goblin in the face. And by the end of the game, the table was full of schemes and like hold negative things, and we literally won by the exact amount of damage that we needed to kill him on probably the last turn that we had to do it. So it was pretty fun.
I was actually invited to go to my locals to play that today, but I just stayed in with my wife.
It's a fair use of time. If you ever get the chance, though, it's an incredibly fun game to play.
Oh yeah, I will definitely go. The games that I've been playing are basically just card games. I've been playing a lot of Legends of Runeterra and streaming that. My deck is just has been very successful in being just a mono Noxus deck. So it's just Darius and all of his friends, and I've been smushing people. And there's nothing fancy. There's no tricks. It's just strong guys and women smushing people. It's just, can I fill the board with 6 characters? Okay, I did that. Now they're gonna attack you. Can you answer that? Okay, you can't. Okay, you're smushed. It's like there's no smell. There's barely any spells. There's no
Nice.
combos. There's no. It's just here's your problem.
Just full on aggression.
Yeah, and I guess that's the theme of us Jackalmen today. Is here's your problem. You did that with Green Goblin. I'm doing that with all the scrub lords of. I should not talk smack. I should.
Here's your problem. Let's punch it in the face.
Yeah, no, but I shouldn't be sitting here talking smack in that game. I'm not that great. It's fun. I'm just not that great. The streams are hot and cold. I would love to have more people come visit me and talk to me. I'm starting to post it on my personal page. Like, maybe my mother-in-law will show up and start talking to me on the stream.
Hi, Mom. Come watch me play games.
Yeah, she's liking them. She likes the posts, but I don't think she pops in.
Hmm.
I was telling you before we started recording, there are some other streamers from the Pokemon TCG realm that I am friends with, and they're popping in and hanging out with me. There was another gentleman last night that popped in, and I was just playing my ukulele. I asked him if you have any song requests, and he said if you can play All Star or Country Road, you make it on Twitch. I was like, okay. So I figured out how to play All Star,
So now
and
you've made it on Twitch.
yeah, I'm a real streamer now.
I thought you were going to say, if you can play All Star right now, I will donate $200.
So I've been doing that and having a great time. I hope if you're listening to this that you also pop in on my streams and just say hi. Like it gets lonely when the room is empty and like nobody's hanging out with me. I just pretend that I'm recording a YouTube video, and those usually turn into actual YouTube videos.
I mean, that's a good way to do it, right?
Yeah. And on top of Legends of Runeterra, I played a couple of games of Hearts with my grandfather, which is an old card game. Have you played Hearts ever?
Yeah, but I always played it with the mindset of I have no idea what I'm doing, and so I only kind of played. I'm really bad at trick-taking games.
Oh man, trick taking games are my bread and butter, bro. It is so much fun to be able to sit there and know where every card is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I really like about, playing with a standard deck of cards, is because I know the deck. So I know what's in it and I know what other people can have. And like compared to games like Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon, like those games where it's deck building, I don't know what they got. I don't know what they had enough money for.
Right.
I don't know, I don't know what they had enough gems for in Legends of Runeterra. I don't know.
You never know when that Yu-Gi-Oh player busts out a $200 card or busts out a $2 card. Same thing.
Yeah, I don't know their strategy, or I don't know their strategy 100%. I don't know their reasoning behind their card choices. You put a deck of bicycle cards in front of me, everybody knows what's in it, and my grandpa is a mastermind. He's 90 years old. He's been playing Hearts and Pinochle since he was a kid. That's like 80 plus years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of card knowledge. And I really want to interview him about like when he started playing Pinochle or when he started playing Hearts. If we have another slow week, that's probably what's going to be put in this podcast. Because
Yeah, that'd be neat to hear.
yeah, he's so cool, dude. He has cancer, and he's fighting it. So every time I get to play a game with him, it's a treasure. And he kicked me and my wife's ass this weekend. Have you ever heard of Make It Snow in a card game?
No.
Okay. Make It Snow, it's probably just a phrase that my grandfather uses, where it, especially in Hearts, is when you take all of the cards that matter. So in Hearts, the cards that matter are hearts.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take all of the hearts, including the Queen of Spades, because she's the old maid, she's worth 13 points. You don't want her. If you take all of them, you've made it snow, and you're given the opportunity to subtract 26 points from your score, or give your opponents 26 points, and all of your opponents 26 points. The end state of the game is when a player hits 100 points, the game is over, and the person with the least amount of points is the winner. So he did that to me and Taryn twice.
Oof.
I ended the game with like 110 points. My grandfather was responsible for 52 of them. It's like, Gramps, calm it down. You don't have to kill me so hard. He spends the whole game laughing as he gives me all of the points. He doesn't give any to Taryn.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's just like he sits at the table and he's like, I'm gonna make Kevin sad. And it's like,
I'm
Gramps,
gonna make Kevin sad.
Gramps, don't. No. So I'd like to think of these games that I've been playing with my grandfather as like something to help him heal, or something to help him be happy and feel better.
Yeah.
So and I definitely adopted my love of card games from him. That's what I really wanted to talk about today. Oh, dude, tell us what you have planned for the next podcast.
Oh, yeah, sure. So it was supposed to be here this podcast, but busy schedules of game designers are busy. Podcast 1, we had to record like 12 different times, so I'm not sure if it made it in or not. But I've been talking a lot about Starlight, a new board game that's going up on Kickstarter soon. I was given an ad on Facebook for it a while back, and the ad was literally a ship raining fire down on a planet, and the words Gloomhaven meets X-Wing. And I was like, this is 100% my interest. Click. So I've been following that game for a little while now. The developer's very personable and out there, so you can pretty much just directly talk to the dev. And he's got a Discord open, so you can hop into there and talk to him and all that good stuff. But anyways, I've been talking back and forth to him, and originally he had like an old alpha build of the game up on a website that you could try out. And I was like, hey, I kind of want to get like a video of us playing this and put it out there, but I know it's an alpha build. Are you comfortable with that? And he was like, well, it's really old. It's not really representative of what the game is now, so how about instead we do an interview? So we should have an interview with that developer coming out with the next podcast as well.
Yeah, so our next podcast, that's the jam-packed one. That's the one where me and James have our weekly game chat, and we have the Starlight interview, and then we also have Micro D&D. So I'm excited.
And maybe somebody joining us for the first time. But
Oh,
see.
yes. The first time on Fanatics Media Radio, she was a regular. Oh, spoiler. She was a regular at on our Jackalmen podcast. I miss her. I really want to talk to her.
Oh man, it's so hard and like being separated by so many miles.
Okay, let's do Micro D&D. I had a crazy idea that I wanted to talk to James about for the podcast to see if it would work. And I kind of messaged James about it, but I don't think I made myself clear. And I want to hear it from James, if it will work or not. James, are you there?
I am. I thought you were gonna like explain it again. It'll work, but like I don't think that in real time it'll be like a 5 or 10 minute D&D session. It'll probably be closer to like a 30-minute thing and then edited down into like 5 or 10 minutes. That would probably be the only way something like that could work.
Oh, you didn't let me explain it first.
Oh my God.
I'm just messing with you. So
I'm gone. Goodbye.
No, come back. My idea was to take a D&D campaign and shrink it all the way down to individual interactions, where like a DM would probably, correct me if I'm wrong at any time, James, where a DM would probably plan for a meeting in the city and then an adventure and then like a fight. Instead of that, make it just like you talked to one person and that's all we play. And then you go, okay, see you next time. I like the next.
Yeah, I gotcha. So it'd be something like, all right, I want to buy a magical sword. All right, here's the guy selling magical swords, and then like you go through the whole retail experience, and then we're like, all right, next time.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I want to leave it at. I want it to be microtransactions of D&D.
Microtransactions. I don't think that's the right word, but yeah, I think I understand what you mean.
Okay. Do you think it would be possible to do as a bit/segment on our podcast?
Possible? Yes.
And it's a single player campaign, so like all the scenarios even have to be pared down even more.
Right.
All right, this kind of gets me a little bit excited. I don't know if it gets you a little bit excited.
That's my secret, Kevin. I'm always excited.
I think we're going to call it Micro D&D.
Sounds neat.
Sounds tiny. My character's name. Okay, I'm going to be Mandy, short for Mandarin.
Short for Mandarin.
Yeah, I'm an orange. Oh my gosh, I could be a bird person.
Look at all these races. There's so many races.
What is a Genesee?
Genocide
Oh,
is
it's like an
element
element.
person. Yeah.
Oh, that totally sounds like a bard. As an heir Genasi, you are descended from the Jinn. I'm a freaking genie.
You're descended from the Jinn.
Yeah, I'm a genie grandchild. A faint but constant breeze accompanies them.
So your hair always flutters in the wind.
Dude, I'm hot. I'm a hot girl.
No, that would be a fire genocide. Yep. Your dexterity goes up by 1. You can hold your breath indefinitely because you are air.
Yes.
And,
Oh, I am just breath.
And now you get to choose your class, but I think you already have.
I am a bard. 3 musical instruments of my choice. I get 3? The ukulele. This demon noise. And then the bongos.
Beautiful.
Let's do it.
Your HP is max at 8.
So my proficiencies is going to be insight, investigation, and performance.
Sounds good to me. Scroll up and click on spells.
I took mending, true strike, detect magic, thunder wave, unseen servant.
Now get you some dice.
D6s.
4 D6s.
First roll is 10. Next roll is 15. Next roll is 10. Next one is 9. Next one is poopy is 6.
A 6. Oof.
And the last one is 14. Okay. So now I assign them how I wish.
You got it.
I will give myself 15 to Dex, and then I'll have 14 Charisma. I'll give 10 to Constitution. What does Wisdom do?
So are you asking mechanically what wisdom does, or thematically what does wisdom do?
Mechanically.
Mechanically, for you, not much.
So I'll give that one 6. And I'll give my Strength 9. I'm excited, dude.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
That's it for Micro D&D this week. Next week, we will discuss Mandy's backstory.
I do have a plug for something that I want to mention.
Okay, plug it up.
Sweet. So, just to give you guys a heads up, there is actually a pretty big event coming up on the 15th here around Dothan, if you're local. So, disc golf has gotten pretty big in the area. Fanatics has always kind of helped push it. We've stocked a ton of disc golfs. We put money towards and helped build out the Taylor disc golf course, and a whole bunch of other little things over the last few years. This year, on the 15th of this month, is actually the first Ice Bowl, they're calling it, which is going to be insane because it's probably going to be like 80 degrees outside. but it is a charity event for a disc golf tournament where all the benefits go towards the Wiregrass Area Food Bank. And Fanatics has donated, I think it's a total of 35 starter kits just for everybody who enters gets one. Myself, Eric, and a few other people are planning on going out there and playing, even though I've only ever played disc golf like once. There's a whole bunch of good stuff going out there. One of the guys who's organizing it is bringing a massive thing of chili to hand out to anybody who wants it. There's a charity raffle. There are certain things, like if you make a hole-in-one on one of the certain baskets, then there's a pot of money that gets split half between you and half to the food bank, and if nobody makes that hole-in-one, then the food bank gets all the money. There's a raffle with a bunch of different prizes for disc golfers, like really expensive discs that were donated and things like that. So yeah, if you have no other plans on the 15th, go and check it out. And you can check out our Facebook page for some more info on it too.
That sounds like a great time.
Disc golf is surprisingly fun when it's not 200 degrees outside.
My only experience was a cold Pennsylvania day, and this kid, Casey, came up to me. He's like, "Do you want to go play disc golf and get high in the woods?" And I was like, "I'll go play disc golf." And then he proceeded to drive 90 miles an hour with me and this other kid who I don't remember his name. This was in college. And they got high in the woods, and I sucked at disc golf. So
that sounds like a normal first disc golf experience.
Where can they find Fanatics, the store in Dothan, Alabama?
They can find it in Dothan, Alabama.
Where can they find awesome singles on tcgplayer.com?
Fanatics.tcgplayerpro.com gives you all of our in-store singles, currently set up only for in-store purchase, but you get to browse through our library at the house.
Where can they see pictures of the store and find information on upcoming events?
A couple of different places. So there is dothanfanatics.com. There is at Dothan Fanatics on Facebook, at Dothan Fanatics on Instagram and YouTube and everything else. And basically, if it's social media, Fanatics or Dothan Fanatics will find us.
Where can they see our amazing content that we make for Fanatics?
You can see it posted on pretty much all the places listed above or on YouTube, currently under Jackalmen Games.
And you can find our streams at twitch.tv/Jackalmen Games. That's where I stream mostly every day for like about an hour. Weekends I usually keep open for any special events happening at the store, or if James says, "Hey, I'm streaming this," and then I let it be.
That's where we stream our tournaments every weekend. So our Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, things like that.
That's also where I've been putting highlights from our stream, which are becoming increasingly more fun as time goes on. So I hope you stop by and say hi.